subscribe. Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about something that is a bit controversial. Sometimes we don't always do like human interest pieces like for motivation to teach, and sometimes like to bring you relevant news and see how you guys feel about that. Um, I did have a video and episode about the Roe versus Wade being overturned when it was more relevant. But something happened to my files on here, and I got really frustrated trying to find it because I had already had a huge span of time that I hadn't been, uploading to the channel, to the podcast as much as I would like to have, because I had been really just creating content and doing some restructuring in my home business. For those of you who don't know, do taxes, accounting. We will help you file your business and all of that stuff. I'm gonna adjust my chair really quick. Okay. Now, you might even see what I had on, but and you say you could have put something on. You know what? I probably could have, but you know what? I'm comfortable. It's like 3 something in the morning, so I'm going to keep this on. So anyway, back to what I was saying. So I was talking about Roe versus Wade being overturned. Now, for those of you who are really, I'm going to say, out of touch with news, because a lot of people find news to be really, what's the word, uninspiring, depressing, all sorts of, downers. And it's like, who really wants to feel like that? I mean, I certainly don't. So I totally understand. And so, with that being said, I am going to try to make the content be uploaded to the channel with a lot more consistency. I'll probably upload, I'm going to say 2 videos a week. That's my goal, 2 videos a week, and I'll find 2 topics. That's something that I think is easier to commit to than like every other day, which is what I initially started. And yeah, so like I said, it's 3 something in the morning here. I'm in Texas, and I have this coffee cup that's literally the size of my head almost, to be able to help me finish this and some tax returns. Tax returns are all year round. You should have been getting your stimulus back. And if you didn't, you can hit me up. I'll send you a link to my other channel where I'll actually talk about that next. So I'm going to talk to you guys about this new epidemic that's quietly been succumbing for a lot of people. And this is the aftermath of the overturn from Roe versus Wade. Now, if you guys already know that before they first had that case, it was like a long time ago, I believe the 70s, before I was even born. And getting abortions were very dangerous to get. They had a lot of back alley operations. If you've seen that movie by Tyler Perry for Colored Girls, you'll see a bit more vivid picture of how gruesome those situations were before, after, and during, the type of situations that people actually experience nowadays with the advancement of medicine, get an abortion or termination of pregnancy. It's a lot more easier and safer, especially with the availability of drugs and these different networks that have gone on. It's made it a lot cheaper and more easily accessible to be able to have these. But here is the thing. There's been basically, you can see there's tons of stories and situations like this one that happened, but this one here that we're going to talk about is about one in particular situation or story, or perspective rather, about desperate pleas from pills that are being smuggled mostly from Mexico. Okay, because there has been apparently some huge or covert abortion network that has basically popped up out of nowhere. So it's like anytime you have something that's, prohibited, any prohibition brings like an opportunity for people to be able to make some money, and also to be able to just really get together, do some things and that they're not supposed to do, and meet some people that they wouldn't have otherwise have met. So, like, amid all of these obviously legal and medical risks in and of self, because some of these medications have not been cleared, I want to say, by the FDA, which is the Food and Drug Administration. And so they have a growing army, as it says here, that's funneling pills, like I was saying, from Mexico, mostly into the states, the ones that have obviously banned abortion, because not all of them have banned abortion. Okay, guys, so knowing me, I have to do a little bit of research. Do a little bit of research, and I have actually pulled up one of the most prevalent. And I'm not advising you guys to take this. That's not what this is for. I'm not in any shape, form, or fashion exposing anything for you to try it yourself or anything like that. I'm just really putting information out there and letting you know what's really going on and what's been happening with. Um, with people who ended up in unfortunate situations. Like there's cases of little girls who've been touched by family members who, they live in these states now that they've been banned from getting any type of assistance, and they've been kind of really stuck or forced to just deal with it. Do with that like as you will. I'm, like I said, but I am in no shape, form, or fashion advising for any medications and networks. I'm not advising in either way. I personally think that it's you guys' choice, because at the end of the day, with so many people having all these opinions about what other people should be doing with their bodies, it's like, at the end of the day, when that person who didn't want that child to carry them, the woman, more or less than the guy, I'm going to say in this way, is that, her physical health is being put at risk. Like me personally, I have two kids, and both of them were high risk pregnancies, and one I carried to full term. The other one I had like 3 months early. She was a preemie, and she was in NICU. She had breathing problems, had all kinds of tubes, all of that stuff going through. And, some people, like I had, what do they call it? Hypertension, gestational hypertension, and sugar. And so that's like high blood pressure and sugar. The first time is a very close risk to preeclampsia. And so I almost was like not here. I delivered the second one by myself. And during the snowstorm that we had last year at the hospital, where everything was shut down, hospital did not take my concerns seriously, because I wasn't like screaming all over the place. So they didn't really just think that I was, just really in as much pain as as I was calling them. I really wasn't, you know, screaming my head off and just like most other people would, because I have a high tolerance to pain. But long story short, my experiences were not, they were not fun. I'm just going to say that. And a lot of people already decided right from the jump that they didn't want this to happen. And even this could happen if you're like birth control or stuff like that, and you are being safe and taking preventative measures. Sometimes, I'm going to say your personhood or your body, you basically could be sometimes assaulted. It could be by family members, strangers. It's usually by someone that you know or you trust. Um, but outside of that, you're the one who's going to end up, not only like is your physical self being put at risk, but in your health. But at the end of the day, when you actually have this baby, this child, you're going to be the one financially responsible, physically responsible, and all sorts of sense responsible for this living, breathing human being. Okay. And so some people are not in the capacity nor desire to be in the capacity to be able to maintain children. And, I think that at the end of the day, all the people who have opinions on whether or not someone should keep their child because they themselves either couldn't, or religious beliefs that, projecting it onto other people, and, other situations like that. I think that, I think that's really unfair, and I think it's a bit short-sighted and selfish, personally, um, because there's a lot of people that you don't even know these people's names, you don't know their likelihood, you'll never probably walk across and meet any of these people. So to say that they should, now I'm going to tell you an insider secret that a lot of people don't know, as far as why they made the decision. Um, to overturn it. It's not because of what was fair and just. It was because of something that was very equitable. It was a very legal inclination as to why they made that decision. And that's because when you are with child, when you are pregnant, you are not just carrying, your DNA, but you have your DNA, you have the father's DNA, and then you have that third entity's DNA, which is the children. If there's multiple births, you have, four, up to four different DNAs that are, within you. So they are basing it on the average being a single birth, a single fetus birth, a singleton. And so there's three. So there's like 30%, 30%, and then 30% out of 100. Then there's that gray area of the 10. So it's like there's no majority rules in this situation. So that's why they really put it to be that way. It was more or less a legal standpoint of equity, and that's where they're basing it for basis, and instead of the basis of if it was fair to the mom, if the mom could afford it, if it was safe for her, etc. And that was truly why I don't agree with them making that decision. But then again, I've never been the type to conform anyway. So if I wanted to do something or have something done, whether it was this or not, because I don't really, I've been, just really focused on like business and work and just getting stuff together. Because I just had a baby. She's one I had on Valentine's Day of last year during the storm, like I said earlier. Um, so that's the farthest thing from my mind. But so anyways, guys, let's get back into the topic. I kind of get a little bit of insight into myself. So the most popular drug that they're using in order to do these new age back alley abortions, which is really sharing the abortion pill, kind of like the plan B, but it is like after you're already pregnant. And it's called a Mifepristone. It's also known as quite a few other things here, but the scientific name, as you see here, I went and did a Bing search. I use Bing because it gives you points versus Google, which doesn't give you points. I can redeem these points for like Amazon cards, 1-800 flowers discount or whatever. I always choose Amazon cards because Amazon literally has like everything in it. So it just makes sense to me to do that. So we're going to go into here. It's used to basically cause an abortion during the early part of a pregnancy, because obviously you have so far along that you can be that the variations of these I'm going to say treatments, or, what do you want to call them? What's a safe word, I guess? Um, any of these remedies will work. And that means you basically have up to 10 weeks, which is about 2.5 months, basically. That's up to 70 days after the first or first day of your last menstrual cycle. Now, if you guys have irregular cycles of PCOS like me, I'm gonna say you kind of are in a gray area that could or not be a good thing for you, because sometimes it's harder to detect the ACG levels in the blood. With that, like me, for example, halfway through both of mine, I was getting false negatives. So like unrelated circumstances. The first one, I was getting like a wellness check, and they stopped like halfway through, and they were like, "Oh, stop the brand." I'm like, "What do you mean? Like, what do you?" She's like, "You didn't know?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "You're pregnant." I say, nurse lady say what? And so that was my first time, my first pregnancy, and he's 9 now. It's almost as tall as me, which it ain't that hard. It's kind of easy to pass me up. I'm like literally 5'2". I gained like an inch or two with all those vitamins during pregnancy with him. Uh, and so, what else? So yeah, she walks in. She's telling me. So like, I not only did I find out that I was pregnant, that I found out I was really far along, because she tried to do like, she's like, "Yeah, I heard the heartbeat right there in the um first visit." I was like, "Whoa!" Head was spinning. I couldn't process mentally the first thing, because I was like, "What WTF am I gonna do with this?" I was like, no, not 19. I was like 20. I was 20. Um, yeah, I was 20, and I had him at 21. And so I found out about him, and I found out I was farther along than I thought, because not only did I hear a heartbeat, she pulled up on the little ultrasound machine and sonogram, sonographer, whatever it's called. It's late right now. And he was too big to be on the screen. So then I had to come back and schedule a whole appointment. The second time, I was like very dehydrated, and I came in and I took all kinds of blood tests or whatever, and I found out I was halfway through that one as well. So I found out in December for both times. Got pregnant in July around my birthday for birth time. Both times they were both supposed to be Aries, except one was a Aries. He came right around the time he was supposed to. The other one came early, like 3 or 4 months, like 3 or 4 months early, and yeah, I found about her in December. Had her in February. Kind of gave me 2 months to prepare, and at least the other one gave me 4. I didn't even get to have a shower for the second one. So but yeah, that's just like, personal experience to share with you guys. Now, with this Mifepristone here, they also all the medicines you see, they always tend to be able to have other side effects, or affect other conditions that you may have that may prove to be, or not be helpful. So one of them, for example, would be like type 2 diabetes. And here she goes. I have to pause it, and I guess she hears me talking. She's not next to me, so she comes and she brought her little self down here. So I'm gonna try to record this with her here. Um, yeah, that's pretty much how I do a lot of my work. She's attached at my hip. Hey, no touchy. That's my little twin. So some other ones that they use here. It has obviously the traditional. Bless you. It has obviously the traditional. Bless you. Side effects like potential of bleeding, spotting, cramping, etc. And then there's some other alternatives, the ones that are related to Mifepristone, like Mifepristone and all these other ones here. So yeah, I mean, I pretty much just wanted to just really kind of let you guys know what was going on with this, and it wasn't more or less giving an instruction or anything in this one. This one was just a bit I thought this was an interesting story, and I thought that, I might want to share it with you guys. So, like, share, and subscribe. I have some other videos coming up that they are really good. They are about, a lot of different topics. I already have the little thumbnails made up, so it'll be easy to keep on schedule. So, yeah.